Well, this is exciting. I haven't spoken behind a lectern like this before, nor in an institution like that, like Mansfield College, which I think tells us a lot about our past in relation to our faiths and our religions in the Christian tradition. Where this was set up as a college for those people who were dissenting from the Anglican Church. But I think Mansfield for me is something more than that. It's also a college that actually respects very much our state schools in this country and makes sure that children from state schools have access to Oxford and to institutions like this. Because whilst I represent an area on the northeastern side of Oxford, which is deprived, and very few of the children in that area actually get into university, my sense of community in Oxford is very much of divided communities. And my sense of community in the work that I do as the cabinet member for children, education and young people shows me very clearly how our communities and their aspirations for children are very different. I think the Dialogue Society and what it's doing is actually looking at ways that actually you can work across communities and that those communities don't become exclusive, that they don't become communities where others can't access those communities. And I think that in terms of children and young people, it is chronic how our children and young people in this county are underachieving, many of our young people underachieving in a community that has got some of the highest academic qualifications, not just in England, but across the world. And I think for me, that is something that certainly already in my time of doing the job with responsibility for children, we have managed to set up an education commission that can look at what's happening to those children and how we can actually ensure those children have a voice and those children have equal access to education. Because the one thing that I believe in before I believe in anything else is in making sure we have a much more equitable society. Being equal isn't just good enough. We have to make sure, and we'll never have an equal society without equity being at the heart of it. I come from and was brought up in Belfast. Maybe you can't tell by my accent. So my view of community is probably very much coloured by my experiences of growing up in that city. Growing up in a city that was totally divided, in a country where people wanted to kill each other. And some of the reasons for that were things like your eyes were too close together, or you were identified by the size of your lips. Really? And we know that this week we're celebrating what happened in the Good Friday Agreement 25 years ago. And can I just say that through that, I have never felt such a sense of pride in the people that were leading the UK, these people that were leading in Ireland at that time, and the work that was done by Senator Mitchell and by Bill Clinton. We saw in Derry this week them talking to young people, and what a joy that was to hear those young people talking about how they felt about their lives in comparison to what I certainly felt about mine growing up in Belfast. I would like to end by just quoting something from the Cure of Troy. The Good Friday Agreement, Seamus Heaney wrote about it, and one of the bits of the Cure of Troy is about hope and history rhyming. I just hope that the work of organisations such as the Dialogue Society, institutions such as Mansfield, and actually in my own division we have got Brooks University, committed to actually making the lives of all people better, that actually hope and history will rhyme for the next generation. I became a great-grandmother today, and I have to say, looking forward now to 100 years from now, when Rhaenyra will be an old woman, that I'm hoping that we don't destroy the world any further in relation to what we do, to how we tread in this world, because it's not just about institutions, it's not just about organisations, but it's how we all present ourselves, how we all, in what we do and how we act, actually makes the world a better place for future organisations. Thank you.